So Bill, first of all, man, congratulations.
Thank you.
Absolutely outstanding performance. And here she is.
This is it.
Yeah.
This is it.
Beautiful, beautiful. Let me ask you, I've seen, and I was on the line shooting, but I've seen pictures of you coming off the bench.
Yeah.
You knew, didn't you?
I knew when we were done.
Yeah.
That I put in one of the best cards that might be in for that day.
Yeah.
For that day.
What did you have it counted from the bench?
I really had it at a 38, even though when I counted it the first time, the second time I said, oh, it could be a 35.
Okay.
So I knew it was in between. I knew that, and I also knew that sometimes the plugs will fool you. They're bigger than what you think they are. And so I kind of thought, man, I just might have caught those 3 lines like I did at Northeast. I caught 3 lines where my 2 other competitors, they had 3 people tie, and I hit the line.
Right. And it's you can't even call it a game of inches. It's
games of lines.
It's lines.
It's a game of lines.
Does it break it? Does it?
Absolutely.
Does it not?
Yeah.
But you had a look on your face. When I saw those pictures, you had a look like...
I was like, yeah. I mean, I'm feeling it now.
Yeah.
Because it was just, I couldn't even believe that I timed everything correctly. I couldn't believe that the work I put in was paying off. So yeah, it was surreal for me because this was the hardest qualifying. I had the hardest time getting through. That was the hardest shoot I didn't even think I qualified. And so when I saw that 238 or possible 238, I was just like over the moon, man.
And you've shot a 238 in practice before.
Yes.
Right? But is it different on game day to shoot a score like that?
Absolutely. But when you know your gun averages a 231, yeah, you could shoot a 240 once a year, maybe a 241 once a year, your miracle shot. But 231 is the average for this gun here. And yes, it shoots at 38, but it's rare. It's, 35s, 34s. So to do that with that wind and the luck of the bench that I got, the luck really helped me out. Just so the luck, the more you practice, the luckier you get.
Luck favors the prepared.
Yeah.
So you had a read on the wind about 12 miles an hour that morning?
Yeah, and then I moved my reticle over about that far, and then I only had to move an inch and a half for the whole 5 minutes that it took me to shoot. After that, it was getting windier.
So you had that done in the first 5 minutes?
Well, it took me 8 minutes. My first 2 shots were 8s.
Okay.
And I couldn't believe that I got an 8. I said, my day is over. Because I shoot 10, 10, 10 in the siders, 8. And then the next sider I go over, I shoot a good tight group. It's like a half an inch, 8. I said, my day's over. So I waited a minute and a half for the wind to die down. But it was steady. Not like the day before, it was steady. So I went to the siders, 10, 10, 10, good group. I get in, I get a 9. I said, oh, I'm there. 9, 10, 10, 10. And I was going as fast as I can because I was waiting for I said, I'm going to get caught out with a 5 or a 6. I'm going to get caught out. Or maybe this wind is going to stay consistent because I could hear the things flapping. And I just, the last 5 shots, it was like, please, it was painful. It was so painful. Hurry up because it might change, And then boom. And when I was done, I knew it was a good card. I just didn't know it was as good as it was. So I got in the scope, looked at it, and it was surreal to me. It was pretty cool.
Did you look at any of the other cards?
I looked at all the cards, but when I finished 8 minutes and 30 seconds in, but it only took me 5 minutes to shoot 23 targets. But when I looked at everybody, they were just starting on their first line, and the wind started picking up. Right? It's like, wow. They waited too long. I got consistent wind. There was consistent wind for 8 minutes in a row, consistent.
Yeah, when we were there for the practice round, because Pyramyd Air did an amazing job, I thought, letting us take a practice round actually on our benches. That was, to me, that was like, well, I feel like I'm in first class.
Yes, I felt the same
It was really
way.
nice. But I'll tell you what, if they would have said, oh, you guys are here early, you want to shoot now? I would have loved to have shot during that practice round.
Yeah.
Because there was no wind to speak of. I mean, it was just dead. And minute by minute, it was starting to, because we were there we were there at 7:30 getting ready.
That's right.
By the time we started shooting, what was it, 9:30? It was like, here comes the wind, here comes the breeze. And it felt like it was building. Yeah. My forecast had it building.
During that practice, my projectile was looping here and there. And that was really scaring me. And I'll never forget, this guy, Terry Clark, told me, oh, just slow your gun down, which I don't like to do. So I clicked the micro down, and I got to 80, from 905 to 884. And I saw my groups were like went from an inch to a half an inch. So I shot about 10 sighters and knew that I was ready to go, and I stopped. So that had something to do with it, me getting. And also I used the biggest head sizes that were in the cans. Out of 1,000 pellets, I could pick the biggest head sizes. And so I made 2 changes, the speed and the head size. I never make 2 changes, especially before a shoot.
Day of, yeah.
I always use the smallest head size with this liner, because there's no right or wrong of head size. It has to meet up, match your liner. But it ended up, I made all the right choices. So that little bit of luck, I think, gave me that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So we look at the gun here. You've got a number of Saber Tactical accessories on here. Can you walk me through what you think is essential for you? Yes,
essential for me. It's like my moderator. It's everything. It's everything. This rail, it works for me. The weights work for me.
We've got a Saber Tactical lower rail.
Yes.
And then you've got a brass bridge.
Yes.
Up here. And the primary purpose of those is to add weight.
To add weight.
So you've got the brass bridge up top adding weight. You've got the brass insert on the underside that goes right in there. And then it looks like you've got just about all your M-LOK slots filled up with the Saber weights as well. So do you know what the gun weighs?
19 and a half.
19 and a half. And that's a lot more than a base.
Yeah.
A base Panthera.
For me, I had these weights before. I had the Saber Tactical stuff on before I went to Tactical. I know it seems like I'm on the team now, but I use what works. Because, Donnie said, whatever works, you shoot. But the Saber Tactical stuff, I love my rear. Do you have the rear by?
I don't know if we don't have one of the new ones here.
Okay, I think I have one in my car, but that was a game changer. That was a real game changer. But
you're talking about the Pro Bench monopod?
The Pro Bench monopod, yes.
Yeah. So tell us how you use that in competition.
I don't like to put that all the way to the top. And I don't like to have it all the way at one end, so the weight transfers correctly on there. And I use it for quick target acquisitions at the time that you need to be quick, when all of a sudden the wind stops. So to me, in my mind, I say, let me get out the shots as fast as I can. With that piece of equipment, I can run through it, quickly. And I like it when targets are level. So this way, when I'm going this way, I can go boom, 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 level. If the target's level, there's not much movement I have to make. But that I would say would be my biggest. And of course, you need the weight. You need the weight, all different weight, and you need a certain weight on the moderator for this gun that I found for it to work. And did you see that new piece that Val came out with?
Which one? I've seen a couple of new things.
Let me show you this, what he did. I wish I had it with me to show you. Val, I don't like to put any torque on the front of my gun.
Yep, absolutely.
So what I do is my gun, I loosen this a little bit. Yep. So this gun, these rubber feet hold on the wood. Yep. So I need this to be able to go back and forth. The downside is no matter what you do with this, the more you shoot, the looser it gets. And the looser it gets,
you get a little wobble.
You get wobble.
Yep.
And so Saber Tactical has a new part. I don't even know if I should talk.
Not out yet.
Okay. That fits in here, which is another Arca rail that has a bearing with 0 play. And it's like
butter.
Oh, man. I can't, because I know any torque on my gun. I know this, that I know. Yep. There's some things I guess, but any torque on your gun at all just doesn't work.
Right. Yeah, so you can make your up and down adjustments, no problem.
Right.
But having
no torque,
having no torque left to right is going to be huge.
Huge. And I've done that for the last 5 years because I found that out. A weird way I found that out. I was shooting with a stand-up tripod at 70 yards. I locked the gun down. I'm on target. But I had to move over like an inch. So instead of loosening the ball up, I just muscled the gun a little bit. And my groups are all over the place. Yeah. That's when I knew that any torque on this gun in anywhere is not good. And also, I'm very light on the stock. I'm very light on my finger. I'm very light on my face to be able to do the same exact thing every single time. To repeatability is a big thing with tens of thousands of rounds, repeatability.
So when you talk about preparation for an event like this, and I'm not going to ask you to give any secrets up, you spend, would you say, a fair amount of time prepping your ammunition to get the most consistency possible?
I spend 6 hours on 1,000 rounds. I end up with 250 rounds that I'm going to use in the competition.
Okay.
I use about another 250 of them in practice. The other ones I just don't even like to use because I don't want to practice and have a flyer, and it's because of the ammo. And now I try to get perfect pellets to practice with. Yes, 6 hours I spent on prep, just that, 1,000 pellets.
How many cards do you think from the last competition shoot to the Pyramyd Air Cup, how many cards in practice do you think you shot?
I was a little bit lazy, but I wasn't lazy. I got the karma. And so I really shot that gun a lot without doing cards. So I probably only have 25 cards, very little, because I was just doing R&D with the karma.
So if I were to ask that again in a different way, so pretend I didn't ask that.
Yeah.
Okay? If you're getting a new gun and you're gonna work it towards competition ready, between target shooting, getting it to group, tuning.
100 cards.
100 cards.
Yep. Four or five a day, 3 days a week. So.
And that's just getting
I'm
ready
getting
for
ready for
competition.
RMAC now.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell Donnie and the guy, listen, I can't wait for stuff. I need stuff now because I want to study and get it right and have as much time as I can. So yeah, I want to be ready. And that's next year.
Right.
So I'll be practicing now for next year.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
And obviously that's where you see the results, right?
Yeah. That's what gets you a line. I won by 3 lines.
Yep. Well, Bill, I so much appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming down, and it's great to have you on the team.